What's up, everyone? We're stepping into a new series, Safe Games for Kids. This is part one of that. And what you see here is Transformers Devastation. Now, before we talk about the game itself, the reason why we're doing this Safe Games for Kids is because a lot of game systems today, or things that are made for, kids today, are not actually made for kids. I have kids myself, and from time to time you will hear them on, the interview. I'll be interviewing them, telling you why they play this game or why they like it. And with a kid, you can only expect, because it's cool. Given that that's not really an answer, but that's good enough for them, so whatever. This game uses a lot of the original artwork, or it looks like they use a lot of original artwork, even the voice acting from the 80s. So a lot of parents who are in my age group or older, they'll recognize this, and this will seem like something that is like, whoa, okay, I can do this. Now, this game right here, it has a lot to offer, but I'll go ahead and I'll talk about the downside to it first. Now, a lot of families today that have these game systems, whether it's PS4 or Xbox One, they have more than one child. So if you have more than one child, you have more than one controller, so the kids can play together. This game is a one-player game. It does not offer split screen, obviously. It's a one-player game. It would be really good if they did. You have the 5 characters in the game that I know of so far. That's what you get, and they're all Autobots, so you do not get the Decepticon side either. So basically, the 5 characters and the lack of multiplayer, not online, but co-op or split screen, that would be the downside, the major downsides that I can say. That makes it a little bit hard to swallow, but what I've played so far in the game, it quickly makes up for all of that. As you can see, game just jumps right into it. Fast-paced game. It is more or less a hack and slash game. So you're running around, you're button smashing, and for anyone who doesn't really know what that means, it's you're pressing random punch and kick buttons in different combinations, not really knowing what you're doing, and making cool stuff happen, to sum it up. They have lots of great intros, like you're going to see, like right here, like the way these guys make their intro. And then they're going to flip into a fight like that. Now, anybody who flips into a fight like that, you better be ready to do just that. And these guys in the background have Iron Man poses. So you can see here, and it kind of shows you like what I was pressing on the screen at the time. And they will double, triple team you. I mean, they will pin you in a corner if they can. So this game is not going to be something that your kids are going to basically beat in 4 or 5 hours. I can tell you right now, it is not going to happen unless your kid is some video game prodigy or something or another. But game is fun. It does get repetitive with the punching and the kicking and the pressing the same buttons. The weapons are upgradable. The enemies that you're going to fight in the game are the enemies that you would expect to see in a Transformer game. Like, for instance, you're going to see Devastator. Not Devastator, that weird monkey thing that was in the Transformer movie. But Devastator, as we remember it, I hope they have Astro Train in the game as well. And you can see, like, it gets to the point where you jump up in the air and you're doing combos in the air before you land, which is actually kind of cool. And you see, like, there is a lot of, gunfire and stuff like that. You'd expect that from Transformers, like, if as if it were a GI Joe game. I mean, like, think about having a GI Joe game with no gunfire, but they're not firing bullets; they're firing lasers. So, if your kids watch Star Wars or something like that, then trust me, they're going to be fine with this. There's nothing weird that I've come across so far in it. This video is basically a little touch on what this game has to offer. And there's things to find, like upgrades to weapons, um, different cannons and blasters and things like that. Now, I don't think you guys can hear the sound from the game, but it the sound quality is surprisingly good. I mean, it really is. I mean, it if you have a decent surround sound system, I would say, turn it up a little bit, not loud, but just turn up a little bit. Or if you have headphones, then, go for what you know. Um, See, that's what we remember Optimus looking like. I mean, how cool is that? Unfortunately, a lot of kids today would be like, what is that? Well, that's Optimus. That's Optimus right there. Like, that's Bumblebee. He's not a Camaro. I think he was a bug or something. Like a Volkswagen bug. And then he was having a moment there, but, you know, we all do at times. And they have Grimlock. They have Starscream. They have Soundwave. And there's Grimlock right there. Everybody's having moments. But I mean, the game, there's lots of action going on. So, as you can see, from the time that the game starts, even to like now, the action really hasn't stopped, with the exception of the occasional cutscene here and there. Many enemies to fight. There's different types of enemies. You have your ground troops. You have enemies that fly. You have your snipers and things like that. The ones that are going to stay basically at a distance and hit you. And then your teammates will jump in to help you out in a fight. Now, once again, like I said, unfortunately, there is no way to, at least not that I know of yet, to have somebody pick up the second controller and go split screen with it. And hopefully this is something that Hasbro will, throw a patch in later to fix all this. But I am very grateful that, after all this time, that they went from making those horrible movie games to just making this here. There was a Transformer game. It's called like a Rise of Dark Spark or something like that, and it, unfortunately, it kind of started off like one of those weird movie game type Transformer games, and then it goes into like a Fall of Cybertron, War for Cybertron type game, which was actually kind of cool because it kind of shows you you guys look at Devastator. That's what we remember Devastator looking like. Now, how cool is that? Seriously. But anyways, it goes into like this retro feel, and it shows you this, not retro what you see in front of you, but I'm going to release a video before long, kind of give you guys an idea. But it goes into like this feel where it shows you what they look like before they came to Earth. Before they came to Earth and took on the form of like some modern day semi and a Camaro and a Bugatti and whatever else, you know. And it's you know, that's when the game actually started to get pretty cool. But War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron, those are all good games, and I would say if you're not against like, you know, excessive gunfire, meaning lasers, not bullets but lasers, um, those are games that are okay for kids too, because you don't have to worry about language, you don't have to worry about blood, guts, and gore and whatever else. These games that I'm going to show you are all safe games. I mean, like I said before, I have kids myself, and I do review the games before I let them play them. And a lot of people might think I'm being, you know, too much when it comes to that, but I just don't want my kids to get a hold of something like Grand Theft Auto, and I don't let my kids play online either. And that's where a lot of parents make the mistake. You know, you think like, okay, they're just playing online with their friends. Not always. And not all the games that they're going to be playing online. I mean, even though the game, like say for instance this right here, if this had the online application to it, your kid's playing this, and this is fun, then you have some guy who is, you know, 20 something years old, basically cussing at your 8-year-old kid for whatever reason, maybe because he feels he can, and it's just, the online thing is just not good for kids, period. You can see right here, you have Megatron. Now, isn't that what we all remember Megatron kind of looking like? And as you see, Bumblebee has just kind of went off to the side there. That's what Bumblebee looked like back in the day. A lot of people don't know this. But Devastator was your first boss, and it wasn't even like a real boss. It was more like just a quick fight. You see Bumblebee going at it with Megatron here, and what you're going to see in a moment, Bumblebee was, I think he's supposed to be one of the smaller bots, going at it with the leader of the Decepticons. And if you didn't notice a minute ago, Optimus was just over there deep in thought about what, I have no idea, but he's not helping me here in the slightest. So if there was anybody who was like on the fence about this game, trying to figure out if this is a game worth picking up, yes, pick this game up. It is definitely worth it. It's just, it's a fun game, and it has its drawbacks. It does, but as far as fun factor, yes, it's definitely fun. It just is. I mean, like, this is cool here. These combos, like you can sit there, rush him, break his shield, slide between his legs. Not right there. He actually kind of slammed me on the ground there. You see, Optimus is not even helping. Let's see right there. Slide between his legs. Get behind him. Slide between his legs again. And then zip away. Come right back. And then you can just like link your combos together. I mean, it's, for the most part, it's pretty open with what you can do. It's just, everybody is supposed to help in the game, and Optimus jumps down in front after he's been beat, and now he wants to talk his mess. Now, this part to me right here is funny. And he zips away, and he looks like, did you just see that? My kids and I were laughing at that for like 20 minutes. And as you can see, you get to choose another character here. Well, you don't get to choose them, they pick them for you. The game overall, like I said, it's cool. If there's anyone who's on the fence about that, just buy it used if you have to, but I would say out of the Hasbro games that I've played dating back to the original Transformers movie game, and even before that, to be honest with you, this is probably number 3 of the decent ones, meaning the third one that they made that was good. And I would definitely say, if anything, it's not one of those rush out and go get it right now, but it is definitely something, if you are at a game store, because I've done this a number of times, where I look at their lineup on their wall and I'm like, man, I have the vast majority of the stuff here. I honestly do have the vast majority of the things that they have in the game stores, with the exception of the brand new stuff that it has just released, and I haven't had a chance to go down there and go pick it up because I'm at work all the time. This is something you might want to get, because as you can see, it's a pretty cool game. It really is. And it's okay to have the games that are slower moving. This is not one of them. The movie games, the games that were based on the actual movies, I would have to say those are slower paced. For whatever reason, they just don't move quickly. It just seems like whoever was directing this, it's like, look, this is what we're going to do, and this is why. And they carried it out, and it worked. And anyone who's, that can sit there and turn on Netflix and watch like an old school cartoon like Transformers and be like, man, this is how it was back in the day. This is a game that you want to sit there and pick up. Trust me, you'll enjoy it. Your kids will enjoy it.